Welcome to Africa in Harlem live from the village of Harlem. I'm Issa. Today's guest is the First Lady of New York City, Chirlane McCray. She's here with us to talk about vaccination and why diversity is so important in the health sector. A few weeks ago, you got vaccinated. What did you get? How did you feel afterwards? Because a lot of Black and brown people are very nervous about getting that vaccine.
They are, and it is very distressing to see how hesitant people are. I know so many people who say they're not going to get it, or they're waiting to see if it's really okay for them to get it. And I want everyone to be safe, and I want their families to be safe. So I'm hoping that the fact that I've done this as an example will encourage people. I got my second shot a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And I got the Pfizer.
Okay.
And after the first dose, my arm was just a little sore, but wasn't bad at all. I mean, I could sleep on my side. I could do exercises and everything, and that was the only reaction that I had. When I received my second dose, and that was just a couple of weeks ago, I was all prepared because I had heard that some people did have reactions. Some people would have aches, some pains, and fever for a short amount of time. And so I was all ready. I even had the next day off just to be prepared. And I felt nothing, absolutely nothing. I didn't have to take Tylenol. I didn't have to take my temperature. Nothing happened. I worked out. I exercised that day and didn't feel any side effects at all. My arm was a little sore, but not even as sore as the first time. Again, I was fine to work out, and it didn't impair my functioning at all. So I think that the warnings that people give are as so that people know what to expect. But everybody responds a little differently. No one I know has had anything. Has had any side effects that's concerning. And I want to encourage everyone to get vaccinated, because the vaccination protects against being hospitalized and dying. Those are really, really important things to prevent. Hospitalization, nobody wants to go to the hospital. No one wants to die. And it's a very easy way to protect ourselves and our families and our communities. So I hope all of your readers know the phone number, 877-VAX for NYC, that they can call to find out if they're eligible and make an appointment.
Some of the efforts made by the city is to partner with churches, because a lot of people have faith in their faith leaders. Do you think that it helped a bit in the Black community?
Oh, it helps a lot, because we listen to our faith leaders. We trust them. Trust is the most important ingredient when it comes to people taking steps, taking actions that they may feel fearful about. And that is why we also need more doctors of color, Black and brown doctors who look like them, who understand their language and culture, because we trust people who, the people we know, the people who reflect ourselves and our communities. So we are putting vaccination sites in close to community-based organizations where people have affiliations, where people know the people who work there, so that people feel comfortable going to these different sites. In NYC, we are placing vaccination sites so that people don't have to travel, so that people may see people that they know who are working at these sites. giving them the vaccination. And I think that's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So churches, community organizations, other faith-based institutions are all very, very important in us making sure that people feel comfortable and safe when it comes to their health. But we also need, long-term, we need more doctors to look like us.
Mm-hmm. Especially when we know the history of Black people and what has been done to them through medicine, among other things. It would be helpful to have more people that look like us to tell us what to do. When do you think that Black and brown people will be able to put COVID-19 behind them? Because I know that the president is aiming May 1st for everyone to be vaccinated. What do you think is going to happen here in the city for us?
There are too many variables for us to be able to say accurately when we will be able to put it behind us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that COVID-19 is going to be with us for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it is up to us to make sure that our communities are vaccinated, that our people are as safe as possible. But it is going to take I don't know. I think it's going to take a long time before we can consider it history.
Mm-hmm.
It's a virus that mutates, and so the virus that we were fighting in March 2020 is probably not going to be the same virus that we're fighting in next year. Like the flu, it changes, and so I think that we're going to have to do everything that we can to monitor it. But the most important thing that we can do as individuals and as community members is to get the vaccine, wear our masks, and practice social distancing. That there really is no substitute for that.
Mm-hmm. You said that it was very important to have people that look like us in these health institutions, so then we can feel comfortable and trust those people. What do you think is one of the challenges in getting more Black and brown people into these institutions?
Well, it costs a lot to be a student, and I see a few challenges. One, when our young people don't see doctors who look like them, then they don't think that is something that they can become. You know the expression, you can't be what you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
That pertains to our young people. So many of our young people want to be basketball players. They want to be preachers. They want to be what they can see.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have as many Black doctors. Many of the young people have never seen a Black doctor. And so it's important for us to have good role models, people who are encouraging them to go into the sciences so that they know that this is a path that they can take.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is there is not enough support from government. There is a state program called Diversity in Medicine, which has been around for 30 years. But back in 2008, they started making cuts. And so there are only 29 students who are participating in that program this year, 29 students of color, when the need is so great. And when it comes to the federal government, there's a minority fellowship program that provides masters and supports young people who are pursuing masters and doctoral degrees in different fields in behavioral health. And they only award 200 fellowships a year. So, and that is not nearly enough. There are Black and brown people make up 30% of New York's population,
Mm-hmm.
more in the city, but we only make up 12% of the state's physician workforce. So there is a great need for supporting young Black people who want to be students in this area because it costs a lot. The education, the schooling costs a lot. And we need encouragement from government and from the academic field.
It takes a lot financially, and when it comes to time to be in the health sector, but it's worth it, and they have an opportunity to make a difference also in their own community. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. We'll make an effort to create those stories, doing our part also in the community. And hopefully this interview will help more community members when it's their turn to go ahead and get the vaccine, because if people don't get vaccinated, we'll never be able to put COVID-19 behind us. Thank you so much for your time. That's it for today. Thank you for watching the Africa in Harlem video podcast. I'm your host, Issa. Today's guest was New York City First Lady Chirlane McCray. She was with us to talk about vaccination and the importance of diversity in the health sector. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.